who is building something new, can all continue to hold the CEDI and with unwavering confidence and with pride. May we always remember that protecting the CEDI is not the task of any one institution. And let me say that again. Protecting the CEDI is not the task of any one institution. It is a shared endeavor that is rooted in our belief in Ghana's future. Your Excellency, I thank you for your attention, and I wish you a productive and inspiring conference here in Accra. Thank you very much.
Can we please give him another big round of applause? The Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Pandis Asiama. Now, the first time I met Dr. Johnson Asiama, I said to him that he has a double barrel name because it's quite powerful. Can we give it another big round of applause? And whilst I was listening to your speech, Governor, you cast my memory back to when I was about 16, 15 years old, way back in Jamestown, when my grandmother said to me once, you must respect money because money is energy. So she gave me my very first 1 CEDI note. Until today, over 70 years ago, I'm not that old, by the way, I still have that banknote. So for some of us, as you know, our governor said, we must respect our CEDI, we must give it life. And as you can see, I'm wearing the color of life in your presence this morning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this event is obviously co-hosted by our partners from FAR Currency Research. And Currency Research is known to convene global leaders in currency across the world to discuss payments and central bank innovation. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the CEO and the chair of Currency Research, Mr. Jens Siddel.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here today for such a prestigious conference in a beautiful country like Ghana and being able to welcome all of you here to this conference. We are honored to have been asked by the Bank of Ghana to help with producing this conference for you, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of days. For me personally, it's an even greater honor to follow the Governor of the Bank of Ghana and to soon be followed by Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Okay, this is the motto, and I'm sorry to turn my back to you, but I can't see the slide over here. CEDI as a symbol of our national identity, economic sovereignty, and resilience. And before I go into a bit more detail on these 3 main themes of the conference, let me also acknowledge that... Okay, I'm a bit ahead now, I'm sorry. Here we go. That on 6th of March 1957, and the people of Ghana will know, of course, this date, the Republic of Ghana declared its independence and was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa, indeed, to become independent. And I think that's also a very important milestone that we should be aware of and remember, because this then made the CEDI possible 60 years ago. I mentioned the 3 themes. One is national identity, and we see one of the, we don't see one of the banknotes here, I'm sorry about that. But when you look at the banknotes in Ghana, they're really one of these great examples where national identity is being reflected. You see, for instance, the Big 6, the people who made the independence possible, but also you see some of the great monuments and buildings on this slide here, for instance, Castle Osu. So banknotes are a great calling card for each country, and I think Ghana has done a tremendous job in showing that with the CEDI. There's also the aspect of sovereignty, and I put this very first gold coin that the Bank of England minted more than 500 years ago to show, and it was called the sovereign. So sovereignty has always been associated with money, and having your own currency, having your own currency system and everything that's built around it is a key aspect of making sure that your economy and your country can prosper. And last but not least, there's the aspect of resilience. We live in times where there's disruptions through national disasters, through cyber attacks, other things, and it's so important that your economy will not suffer from any of these disruptions. So on one hand, driving digital agenda, driving digital payments is incredibly important, but it's also important to make sure that your ultimate resort, cash, banknotes, coins, is also going to be available to the public and will always work when nothing else will. Now, we've got some great numbers for this conference. At the time when we produced these slides, I think there's a few more, we had 850 attendees, 42 countries, 228 organizations, 45 speakers, 20 topical sessions, and I'll let you go through the rest of these numbers yourself. But what I'm trying to say here is I'm grateful to all of you for coming from other countries, from Ghana, to join us here for this conference and learn, but also talk to other people, get to know some new friends, and go away with some new ideas and some new impressions and make the most out of the next 2 days. I would like to move on to the next slide, but also thank the Bank of Ghana. Without the Bank of Ghana, none of this would be possible. We're incredibly grateful that the Bank of Ghana approached us, asked them to partner with them to put this program together, and we're incredibly proud of being part of this conference. I would also like to recognize the CEDI at 60 Anniversary Steering Committee, who we've been working with over the last 5 months, and it's been a pleasure to put this program together with you, and we're looking forward to a great couple of days. And with that, I'd like to thank you all again. I'll repeat my thanks to the Governor, to the President, and have a great couple of days. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Jens Siddel, the Chairman and CEO of the Currency Research. Thank you so much for giving us an insight into the future today. Now, before we continue the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a short musical interlude by our very own Owura saxophonist. Thank you for your attention. once again, Aurora, the saxophone, is giving us a rendition by Osibisa, Welcome Home. Now, last week I had the privilege of also hosting an event for the Bank of Ghana. And one of the things that I learned last week was that traditionally, from the Akan region, we have a citation that is usually rendered to acknowledge and to welcome dignitaries into our midst. This particular rendition is actually was done last week and is also going to be done this week by Opening Osei Koranche. Now, his instrument is called the seprewa. And apparently, the definition of seprewa means speak small, speak softly. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome on stage to receive our very own Opening Osei Koranche to give us his rendition of a welcome to all of you from across the world into our lovely country of Ghana.
Jina Amanado, a Bank of Ghana Amanado. Doctor, a Siama Sempremo. On an impending for Nina Nemo, a Mauma Penny Aquaba. Amanoni adesiamu shiamu amane meme yenuanum sanchirafo amamu nyina trasio abela kakrania ebehia afidie yimu ni nyina ye sika yitwaye omeimu 1965 Abedru 2025. In Fiadu Siania, at Brafo Biba or Maimu Canabo Madraje Foundie and Wuchas Sike and Society Braba Nanso Yamamra Amani anyra nti amrado obetra simpie no so no waya adwene se ye be shefa afashe yimu ya be hwe yachi ni atwa ba bia ya dro ani ba bia ya kro maybe enkoso wagina sika asam so ni ayentete se de be ye bitima kresika na enyefi obi sei sika ye sei sika twa sika aya adwempao na ba konfo nso nwene ba konsusu Tuaton safre wiase nyina sabomla ni encha adwene ni nyina wamani yi ayontra wo sede ebeya ena mafu emenya hoto na nchirmanya ni daso entini abehia mu na sanu me nyina yeye yakeke mfunu ni akeka madampan yeye nyina ya dia hye omampanyini John Dramani Mahama Yadi ashina mwenyam maybe aso me so Yasha asiano bibinti Osmana bedi akire ni ede kwa wieye amampenga tu ana mo aba fidie yimo ni nyina wamani ye ntirawo to mampanyine iya son some from say, Mimra, Namajo Tata, if it's a brass on Sawakasa. John Dramani, Mahama. I was tossing me a new. Bama could do for Bama won't fair away. As a member, Namajo Tata. Men Saibra Ubano 20 na yade wagina kono yesre nya mema ho me kran so ma feel kakra koni mo sa me na wase asa na me de me nwum ya kwa wi ayeyi eno ma nanam de gyaye no ayama koma koduonu 20 instruments ya tuna jeje mu akwasi kokko de ne yebo enti ade amede to anim ne se yamo ho ban preservation me ba won chen ayama me kwai ma me ma Mo say me bire enti Dr. Siama mama me kwan na me de to anim say no man nanam de giaye no ye bo ho ban ya beboa if say no so a creative job na na ma ba he Dr. Siama me nkomo be ye de ene enti say ya hwa pa ni ya ababo amen wonso wani gi amamna ne amane hunti me de masem ya to anim menim de wa kyena bewo nti na me de to anim menim se wo betia me anya sana nanom be di yia nti na me frafra wo se ya konto friends ya no patitutu ba mene ebledro kase mo fan sambo nhia no
Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. And for some of our international visitors, all you need to say is Aiko. So to our international visitors, say Aiko. One more time, Aiko. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for opening Osai Crunching Seprewa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. To officially open the CEDI at 60 International Currency Conference and deliver his presidential address, it is my profound honor and privilege to invite the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. I asked the Seprewa musician to pass this way to pick a number from my assistant so that he can come and see me. As I normally do, my presentation will be in two parts, my prepared speech, and then I normally have a few reflections before I inflict my speech on you. My mother died in 2016 in June, and I looked after her. And until she died, she had a very interesting way of counting her money. For her, the 20 CD note was £1. So if I gave her 100 CD notes, for her it was £5. And so 1,000 CDs was £50. And until she died, that was the way she would count her money. And so people have their different way of accounting for their money. And I find it strange that even today, I think this current phase of the CEDI was introduced in President Kufuor's time, I think in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. And so 2027 will be 20 years of the current redenomination of the CEDI. And yet it's very interesting. You go to a funeral, I was at a funeral, and somebody donated 100,000 CDs. And when it was announced, oh, so was giving 100,000 CDs, the whole place was quiet. Because I thought the guy deserved a very big round of applause. Apparently they didn't understand what 100,000 CDs was. So when the MC said, Namon Preno, Nipama 1 billion CDs. And I said, 20 years on, we still are calculating in 1 billion CDs instead of 100,000 CDs. I think that we must try and move on and call the CEDI for what it is. And then also, in the past, when we traveled with our security and drivers and others, and they got their per diem, maybe $500 or $1,000, whatever it is. Anytime they went to the shop to buy a few things and bring home, they always use their calculator on their phone. And so if they see a shoe and they say, oh, the shoe is 120 pounds, they will calculate 120 pounds into CDs and say, what? When they see how many CDs they will get for this shoe, they will make job, and I'm sure that they will not be very happy with the Bank of Ghana and Governor Isiama, because now when they use that calculator, it will not be as much as it used to be before. A relative of mine was going to buy a car and asked for an invoice from one of the car dealers. And when the invoice came, showed it to me. And I was surprised to note that the invoice was quoted in CDs, no dollars. A few years ago, if you were going to buy a car, the invoice they'll give you is quoted in dollars. Today, people are quoting in CDs, even house rents. You want to pay in dollars, it says, no, you pay me CDs. I just want to say that the governor and all your people, your team at the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, Ghanaians are grateful to you for the management of our currency. I think that a lot of respect has returned to our currency, and it's my hope that you keep whatever you're doing to make sure that we don't have excess liquidity. All those words you people have, open market operations, whatever those your technical jargons are, whatever you're doing, continue doing so that the CEDI is respected. And so allow me to proceed on established protocol and acknowledge the governor and your team and our visitors from outside, currency research, and all of you, and thank you for putting up this conference. And so it's a profound honor for me to join you for this historic CEDI at 60 International Conference, a gathering of leaders, innovators, policymakers, and practitioners whose work influences the past, present, and the future of money. I wish to commend the Bank of Ghana and the currency research team for uniting such a distinguished community to discuss the evolving framework for currency management, monetary governance, and digital finance. Your deliberations over the next 2 days reaffirm a fundamental truth that the future of money is inextricably linked to the future of national development, institutional credibility, and global economic integration. 60 years ago, Ghana took a bold and sovereign step by introducing the CEDI. not merely as a unit of account or a medium of exchange, but as a declaration of independence, our identity, and the capacity of our state. And so the CEDI symbolizes our national aspiration to govern our own affairs, regulate our markets, and stand shoulder to shoulder with other nations in managing our own monetary destinies. Over 60 years now, the CEDI has, one, anchored the conduct of our monetary policy. It has shaped the expectations of households and businesses. It has absorbed shocks, domestic, regional, and global, and symbolized the resilience of the Ghanaian economy and the Ghanaian people. And so the CEDI at 60 is therefore more than just a celebration. It is a moment for analysis. It is a chance to consider what our currency stands for, how it has developed, and how it must be fortified for the years ahead. This conference takes place against the backdrop of a rapidly shifting global monetary landscape, from the rise of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, to the accelerating adoption of digital payments, from increasing cyber vulnerabilities to the renewed role of cash as an anchor of resilience during crisis. The world is witnessing the emergence of a hybrid monetary ecosystem. And in this new paradigm, cash, electronic payments, and digital assets coexist. Traditional models of monetary policy are being tested. Trust in institutions has become as crucial as technical capacity. And this new reality places a significant responsibility on our central banks, not just as regulators of money, but as guardians of trust. And so this conference provides Ghana and Africa with an invaluable platform for evidence-based dialogue, comparative learning, and forward-looking policy innovation. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the importance of this engagement is heightened by Ghana's notable progress over the past 10 months in achieving macroeconomic stability and restoring confidence in our economy and our currency. And so allow me to highlight some key developments. One, macroeconomic stabilization through disciplined fiscal consolidation, increased domestic revenue mobilization, prudent expenditure rationalization, and better coordination between fiscal and monetary authorities. Through this, we have restored balance and reduced uncertainty. Inflation has continued to decline, and expectations are more firmly anchored today. The second is the strengthening of the CEDI. Improved forex liquidity management, enhanced reserve buffers, and the regulatory reforms have contributed to significant exchange rate stability, which is critical for business planning, investment decisions, and public confidence. And the next is rising confidence indicators. Business sentiments, consumer surveys, and investment outlook reports all indicate a steady recovery of our economy. Our development partners, the financial markets, and the global rating agencies have acknowledged these reforms. And so, these efforts have culminated in a significant sign of credibility. Ghana's sovereign rating by S&P was upgraded recently from CCC+ / C to B- B with a stable outlook on 7th November 2025. And that is why I give credit to our finance ministry and our central bank, the Bank of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an affirmation that our fundamentals are strengthening and that we're on a clear path of recovery. These gains must be protected, consolidated, and expanded through policy discipline and institutional coherence. A core principle of effective economic management is an independent, credible, and professionally insulated central bank. And so let me state unequivocally that the government of Ghana is firmly committed to safeguarding the independence of the Bank of Ghana. A strong and autonomous central bank is essential for anchoring inflation expectations, for maintaining exchange rate stability, from enhancing investor and market confidence and ensuring long-term policy credibility. This is not a matter of personal preference, it is an economic necessity. A modern currency regime requires not only strong institutions, but also an informed and responsible public. I therefore urge the Bank of Ghana to strengthen nationwide public education in 3 critical areas. The first is promoting the use of the CEDI in all domestic transactions. Using the national currency strengthens economic stability and reduces unnecessary exposure to exchange rate volatility. The second is improving currency handling practices. Poor handling practices increase printing costs, shorten the life of the currency notes in circulation, and undermine currency integrity. We must promote respect, proper storage, and responsible use of the Ghanaian cedi. And the third is enhancing financial literacy. An informed citizenry is better able to prevent fraud, demand accountability, and bolster the financial ecosystem. So public education must extend to schools, to the markets, to transport unions, to digital platforms, and especially to rural communities. Now one will ask, why does the CEDI at 60 milestone matter? The 60th anniversary of the CEDI is of deep national and policy relevance. It is a moment to assess the evolution of our monetary framework and draw lessons for future reforms. A currency is ultimately a social contract built on confidence, credibility, and transparency. And this conference will inform the next generation of reforms, ensuring that the CEDI remains robust, secure, and relevant. And I'm confident that this conference will contribute meaningfully to promoting peer learning among central banks, driving innovation in currency design, security, and management, enhancing cross-border payments interoperability, strengthening regulatory frameworks for fintech and digital currencies, positioning Ghana as a regional financial and fintech hub, ensuring and shaping Africa's role in the evolving global monetary order. Ladies and gentlemen, the results of your deliberations today will affect not only policy decisions, but also the long-term path of the CEDI and other African currencies. The endorsement of the African Continental Free Trade Area by a large majority of African countries has opened up the opportunity for the world's largest common markets to be established. However, for goods to be traded seamlessly across the continent, it is essential for us to have a payment and settlement system that enable African businesses to transact using their own currencies. And this has led to the establishment of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, the PAPS. And so I expect this payment system to engage your attention at this conference as a catalyst for settling transactions as businesses and countries exchange products across Africa under the African Continental Free Trade Area. And so as I conclude, we commemorate the CEDI at 60. Let us commit ourselves to shaping a currency and an economy that reflects the hopes and aspirations of our people. The next chapter of the CEDI will depend on 1, sustained macroeconomic discipline, 2, a strong and inclusive financial sector, 3, technological innovation and digital transformation, 4, enhanced public literacy and responsible currency use, and 5, an unwavering, independent, confident central bank. And so my government remains resolutely committed to these pillars, and we shall support our central bank, maintain the trust of our people in our bank in order to make it carry out its rightful mandate. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor to declare the CEDI at 60 International Conference duly opened, and I thank you. May God bless the Bank of Ghana. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May we please request your kind presence, as you have already graced this occasion for us, to kindly honor us with a photo group for us this morning. We'll be most grateful. Thank you very much, sir. So please, Mr. President, one more time, Mr. President. of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much. It has. May I please invite the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Please give him a big round of applause. His first deputy, Dr. Zachary Mumuni. And of course, the team for the currency research for our first group pictures, please. As they make their way to the stage, can we please give them a big round of applause to the currency research team for this collaboration to enhance, to move the CEDI forward. And once again, we are so grateful to our President of the Republic of Ghana for granting us his audience in his time. We know you're very busy. So may we ask all members of the media to ensure that pictures are taken swiftly and orderly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A big round of applause once again for the President of the Republic of Ghana, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana and his first deputy, and the currency research team. Your Excellency, thank you very much. We're most grateful for your time. But would like to steal one more minute of yours, sir. One more minute, sir. One last picture. Thank you. Can we please give him a big round of applause for being so gracious and kind? We do know that he has a very busy schedule. Okay, so on that note, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. May we please have our national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. One more time, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. Thank you so much, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this conference will be in several sections. First of all, we begin our leadership and sovereignty sessions, followed by a dynamic fireside chat, and then a headline presentation. We'll also continue innovation and culture sessions, and followed by a microeconomic panel, practical case study, and infrastructure insights. And we close, finally, our CBDC and interoperability panel later during the course of the day. Each segment is designed to give us a complete forward-looking understanding of Ghana's currency 60 years after. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we allow the stage to be set, may we entreat you to give us a few more minutes and your patience for the morning conference to begin. Thank you.
Young a fin de Louis, Janafa, Ngo Ankeke, Janafa, Ibuluan Jim, Mam one on talk or less in a metro to be Pia Wato, CEDI, Mayawaleni, Womayen Dini.
Celebration everywhere, CEDI now is the